on your Sunday night. Evan Hughes, Michael Menick, our outstanding ACC Network crew behind the scenes. And we are off from Thompson Field, where sunglasses, hats are required for the fans right now. That sun is out.
Something that we saw Boston College do right away that I think is becoming more and more in vogue in the soccer game is playing that kickoff immediately deep, immediately making the other team pressure the ball. I've even seen teams go to the extreme of kicking it out of bounds and giving away a throw in deep so they can immediately press and defend and get the other team in their defensive end.
Well, that was something when we talked with Coach Brizendine about his defense. Hokies not afraid to press and bring that.
And I think that's something that you have to do is defend with 11, attack with 11, right? You need to be able to put pressure on the other team, get quick turnovers, get yourself in high leverage situations right away. Instead of having to build up out of the back, you can just immediately take the ball and go.
Jack Burkhard, junior out of Sutton, Massachusetts, leads this Eagles team in minutes.
I think tempo is going to be interesting, especially early. You mentioned the weather. It's a warmer day. Can both teams play at the pace they want to in this game, I think, is going to be key.
Eagles comfortable in possession. Williams. Gundalach, the junior, with a big ball forward. Royale, who drew the start. A little bit of contact. No whistle.
A little surprised there was no whistle. Certainly went down fairly easily in that situation. It looked like a tango of feet, so it might have just been incident of contact. But certainly I like the direct ball out of the back. Immediately test those center backs. Try and get your center forward an early touch, and it nearly worked.
Burkhart. Near side, Dylan Mafong, who's enjoying an excellent sophomore season. Didn't play last year, but has really burst onto the scene. This Virginia Tech team, that's over the touchline. And a Hokie throw-in.
I think that's another big advantage of having your forwards press is it gives your midfielders, your defenders, more time to align themselves. Early ball was not on there for Boston College. They couldn't find feet there, and it went out for a throw-in.
Great work rate from Russell Brown. It's possession back to Boston College, who, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, seriously, if you like goals, the Eagles in Dean College, a Division III program on Wednesday, 14 goals, a program record for the Eagles. Everybody involved in that one.
I like ice cream. I would want 14 goals worth of ice cream. That's a lot of ice cream.
It's a lot. If you're going scoops for goals, that is a lot of ice cream. Mafong, picked up by Uemana defensively with the left foot, cross in. Opportunity for the Eagles, and there's Sam Joseph, the UCLA transfer, making his presence felt early.
Excellent save, and that's such a tough ball to save because it's low, it's ankle high. You really have to be in good position and have good reflexes to save it, and we saw that there.
Mafong chips it forward, nobody home. Now you talk to Coach Mike Brizendine about his team, his defense. He loves what Sam Joseph has been able to provide early this year.
Yeah, a guy that had a lot of experience in big games before transferring, a couple of NCAA tournament starts, a couple conference tournament matches, comes into this program, and Coach Mike Brizendine said, this is a pro. This is the most pro-ready player on our team. He's got the build at 6'5", excellent reflexes, as you can see. That's often the toughest part with a bigger goalkeeper is getting down for that low save that he just made a minute ago.
Hokies applying some pressure. Again, Boston College trying to bypass the midfield.
Yeah, and we talked about that pressure. This is how you beat that pressure. You play more direct, you play to space, you make those defenders move. They've done a nice job of that early on in this game.
Space in the midfield. Killeen. Quick throw in. Farwell, the grad student, a challenge. That stays in along the end line, and Joseph corrals.
Fundamentals as well to be square to that. Keep it in play, not give away a cheap corner kick there. But you also don't want to have a weird bounce. So square up behind the ball, make the routine save, and not have that be a tricky play. This is good goalkeeping, too. You've had a lot of pressure on your team early. You've not had much of the ball. Slow things down, relax a bit, get everybody exactly where you want them, but then build out of the back. Also draw some pressure, open up some space for your defenders to push forward.
Quill. Excellent read just outside the 6-yard box from the Boston College back line. Mentioned in the open, Michael, Virginia Tech, a lot of pressure on a quality program in Furman in the midweek, just no goals in the end.
Yeah, and like I said, what stuck out to me was defensively against a Furman team that was one of the best in the nation at creating chances, didn't allow a single shot in one half in that game, did a really nice job. You hate to tie 0-0, but you got to feel great about the 0, the fact that you were able to slow a good attack, because that's the kind of games you're going to play in the ACC. You're not going to win a lot of 5-4 games. You're going to win a lot of 1-0 games.
Perez, far side. Hokies with tempo and numbers. Marcano. Quill with the left foot. There's the freshman with an outstanding diving effort for Boston College. Andre Borak. His first introduction on this Sunday night.
Certainly the best build-up. Great job to stay on the feet there. Quickly find a pass. First time cross was the right move. So tough to double back, turn your body, face goal. That takes a lot of time to get that shot off.
Head coach of Boston College, Bob Thompson. One of the greatest players in program history, part of that Elite Eight run in his time. Associate head coach and doing a great job as the head coach of the program.
It's always really good to see a player that has been part of success in a program make the commitment to come back. He was a head assistant there, then became the head coach. Getting this program in the right direction, a much better year last year than what they'd had the couple previous. I think this is part of that building process, too. On the road, conference play, you mentioned in the open, this BC team hasn't won on the road. Haven't played many games on the road anyway. But heading into Blacksburg, getting a win to end the weekend, they would love to do that in the first full week of ACC play.
Open ACC play with a loss at home to Cal. Quill, too big a touch, and a goal kick. And meanwhile, on the other side, what a job Mike Brizendine has done in his 17th season at the helm of the program.
Yeah, and we talked about his ability to develop pro-ready prospects earlier in this game. That's a big part of it, too. Not just team success will come if you have great players. He's done a really good job of doing that, and I think he's really challenged this team non-conference, playing Marshall, playing Furman. That gets you ready for days like this.
Made the NCAA tournament every year from 2016 to 21, trying to get the Hokies back this season.
And the resume is there early. You beat Ohio State, you tie Marshall. You're going to get some good results in ACC play.
Mafong gives it a go. Uemana gets a foot on it. Excellent read as Marcano tries to turn defense into offense.
Yeah, Virginia Tech midfield was really stretched there, created a lot of that pocket in the middle of the park. Boston College was able to really take advantage to get a look there.
Sullins, who scored 2 matches ago against his former school, Virginia, in the Commonwealth Clash. Drawing the start tonight. Marcano, excellent hustle until that just touches over. And Boston College, yeah, one look here. It's a lot harder than it looks.
It is, and what I love about Virginia Tech in that moment is, so your outside back comes up to try and save that ball, can't do it. Immediately 2 players drop in to say, okay, there's a hole there. We're not going to let that quick throw-in happen down the line right up our gut. They did a nice job of structurally of not letting that throw-in be an easy toss up the line for BC. Always a scary moment when you drive back your goalkeeper there, but well handled.
Cleared away for a moment. Second opportunity for Virginia Tech. Too far out of reach for Alex Perez. There's the pressure. Schroeder in the midfield, finding Beltran Alvarez, who's starting to see more minutes. Schroeder, Georgia State transfer, has really seized an opportunity, and the through ball just too far out of reach. Well, 20th all-time meeting between Virginia Tech and Boston College. These are former Big East foes now in the ACC. Eagles have not won since 2016. Penalty kicks.
So, of course, that was the tournament games. You have to go back even further to say that's the last time they won the regular season against the Hokies as well. And sometimes you'll get that gap between years. You mentioned they hadn't played in 2 years. Conference is this big. Sometimes you don't get these matchups as frequently as you used to.
Excellent find. Williams. Brown, and there's Joseph off his line. Another stop.
First touch has to be better there. Way too far in front. That allowed the goalkeeper, Joseph, to recover and get that no problem. If you take about half that touch, you're going to be in. So great ball to find it on the side. It's balancing, which makes it tougher. That's a really heavy touch. I think you take that with your right foot to control it, set up your left, and try and go far post there. But it's concerning for Virginia Tech. Their midfield has not gotten on the ball much, and they've been bypassed a lot defensively. There's been a lot of pressure directly on the Hokies back four in this game.
And worth noting for Virginia Tech tonight, Amir Arieli, the freshman defender out of England who's been superb the first couple of weeks. He is not in the starting 11. So a couple of different look for Virginia Tech as Tito Peralta in that center back role.
And I think when you're playing against a team that's had a little bit of flux in their defense, you want to put immediate pressure on them. So we've seen a lot of direct balls. They've done a good job of attacking the middle, attacking the wing. It's been a varied attack from the Eagles as well.
Almost intercepted. Mafong, excellent play on the ball. Midfield and reverses. A couple of quick touches. Not there, and the Hokies take possession back. The first 15 minutes, the Eagles have been the team applying a little bit more pressure than the Hokies here early.
You feel like they scored 14 goals midweek and they have a lot of confidence because that's the case. They've done a really nice job of varying their attack, getting different guys involved too. It hasn't just been one player getting service, delivering the service. They've done a nice variety of getting players on the ball in dangerous places. But I've been equally impressed with the job Sam Joseph has done. He's made one excellent save in this game and has been well positioned on other chances.
Schroeder. Uemana too far out of reach, and there was Jack Burkhard. Well, we mentioned it, and that's right. If you're wondering, are we saying the score correctly?
Yeah,
yes. 14-0 the final. Boston College over Division III Dean. Most goals in program history. Everybody got involved. You had to feel good coming out of that one.
Yeah, and goal scoring is about confidence. You're going to have a lot of confidence after you scored 14 goals, had different guys score. The hat trick is nice, but that tells you multiple players scored. A lot of players scored if you only have one player that had three. So that really helps a young team out that's trying to build something, trying to build a quality program in Boston. I like the speed that Virginia Tech's moving the ball with right now to create some space here on the left side.
Quill. in his final year. Excellent takeaway, far corner of the pitch. BC unable to fully gain possession. Perez. Peralta. Quill with the left foot gives it a go, and that is well high at the top of the 18.
Right decision to shoot that, and I like the patience from the Hokies. They were about halfway down that left side, didn't have a lot on, doubled back, moved, looked for angles, got a quality player on the ball in Quill, shot went over.
Over 30 starts in his career. Last year was battling an injury. Got to finish the season, but Coach Brizendine, when we talk to him, you can just hear the confidence that he and that staff have in Declan Quill.
Yeah, and again, like I said in the open, getting himself in good spots. That was another good spot that he was in. You want to take that shot from 20, 22 yards out from that angle. You're going to be hitting it towards the far post, which you tried to do, but just overcooked it a bit. But that's the toughest thing to do in this game is find that timing. You practice it, you train it, but it's different in a game situation when you have to do it at pace. Virginia Tech had a lot of joy attacking from the outside in their last attack. Boston College has adjusted a bit, more of a 4-4-2 defensively, try and take that wing play away.
Solons plays it back. Uimana has space, unable to stop that with the right foot. No way Uimana, he can defend, he can get forward. There's a reason why he's got the captain's armband on tonight.
He was in a great position. That ball's got to be better. If that ball's played to his feet, he's got a chance to go up the line, cut inside if he wants to, crosses if he wants to. That was a really good location for him, but the pass wasn't good enough.
Alvarez. Felicio. Hokies very patient in possession. Here's Uimana. Near side Perez, the sophomore who's playing like a veteran. Boston College, quick in pressure. Solons got his head on it. That is tracked down by the freshman Andre Borak in goal.
This has been much better for Virginia Tech. Patient build-up, working side to side. The other thing that's done is not allow Boston College to really keep a lot of players forward. They've really had to defend with 10 or 11 behind the ball, and that takes away the outlets that they were getting early to create chances.
A little bit of a tangle up there. Nikolai Royale, the senior, drawing the start.
I guess that's a foul in Denmark. At least he thought so. But I think you're going to see more things go in conference play, too. You're going to let these teams play it out.
Certainly learn a lot the first 15, 20 minutes of how a match is going to be officiated.
Yeah, and I think a lot's been let go, which I like. Again, I think we haven't seen a card yet. We've only seen one or two smaller fouls. It's been an even game, but it's been a good, and I think the best thing that does is you get a rhythm and a pace to the game. You're not stopping and starting. You're not having to defend set pieces. You can just flow and go both ways.
Perez gets mixed up with Burkhard. Quill plays it back. Here's a big direct strike. Well, wide.
So they've taken the step of they're getting looks now. The next step is, can you get them deeper? Can you get more penetration? and not settle quite so much. I don't mind the shots that they've taken, but I also wouldn't hate to see them make another pass or two, try and get it deeper. I like the job that Quill did to kind of show for the ball there, work it back, and then make a run. More of that would be good too.
If you're just joining us, a couple of early chances for Boston College. Sam Joseph has been big in goal for Virginia Tech. Hokies unbeaten on the year. Excellent start. Win against Ohio State, draw against Marshall, draw against Virginia. Well, they have not won a match since August 24th against Canisius. And on the other side, an opportunity for Boston College to pick up its first ranked win of the season.
That was really well done there by the center back, C.J. Williams, to bring that ball down under pressure cleanly and then play it forward.
Space for Marcano. Sullins outside the 18 with the left foot right into the hands of Borak.
Little slow developing. I would have loved to have seen a run come up the left side there from Virginia Tech. They kind of sat back and defended more so, kind of played it safe. If somebody else makes a run into that space, that becomes a lot more dangerous opportunity.
Michael, what have you appreciated most about how both teams have defended here in the first half?
Well, I think they've done a really good job of being smart. We haven't seen a lot of risks. We've seen some patience, certainly out of the back. Joseph has not been afraid to put his foot on the ball, walk it up a little bit. And after some early bobbles where they were letting Boston College in behind and creating space, Virginia Tech's been really touch tight with their marks. A little brave to play that one touch, but it worked for Sam Joseph. Man.
What a start to the year for Joseph. I'm sure when you make a couple stops like you have tonight, a little bit extra pep in your step.
Yeah, we talk about the confidence of a goal scorer. When you've been making big saves, you have the confidence of a goalkeeper back there too. And I'm sure for him, we talked about his pass at UCLA. Kind of feel good to be the number one, without question. He's been the starter game in and game out, played every minute in goal. That builds confidence too.
Williams. Burkhard, combination play. That's turned over. Uemana. Marcano. Near side Perez. Tech with an opportunity. Off the takeaway. Perez 1v3 unsuccessful.
I like the job that Marcano did, though, to play that ball and then make a run into space that drew a defender. That gave a little bit more space for his teammate. But unfortunately, there were a lot of Boston College players still defending from Virginia Tech's perspective, and they were able to not get much out of that.
Mafong slips. Uemana the challenge. Hokie throw it near side. Alvarez taken down. And there's our referee, Islin Pexanar.
Yeah, Curley kind of came in with that back leg. He was good till he did that. The hip-to-hip challenge was fine. That little whip through was the problem. This is a tough free kick to deal with. You're looking right into the sun. There's some shadows. The goal here is hit it to the top of the 18, get a flick, and try and finish at the near post.
Marcano. Patient. Here's the service. Opportunity for Tech. And it's just high with the left foot. Best look of the first half for the Hokies. Just a little high, Joao Felicio, the freshman.
That's how you draw it up, except you know what, your center back probably being on the end of that. It's really the only thing that Virginia Tech probably would want differently. Time and space to set that up. You just got to hit that hard and low. You don't need to necessarily power that. You just need to place it in a dangerous position. Chance for a rebound as well, and a chance from that opportunity. But, you know, sometimes that's why you're a center back instead of a forward. Chances like that.
Apologies, Evan Schroeder.
Yeah.
Who's been so important to this Virginia Tech back line.
You see there, just one shot. So not used to being in that position. I think they would love to have seen maybe that go to his head more so than his foot with his size, but again, off the set piece, that's what you want. They played that square ball, get a different angle. Good service in. The flick was there. They got to look, but you got to put it on frame.
And Boston College, Michael, it felt like the first 10 minutes. Opportunities, possession. It's kind of changed a little bit here over the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, shots right now are 6-2 in favor of Virginia Tech, and I think all 6 of them have been consecutively. Boston College had a couple looks early, not much sense. It'll be interesting to see Eklund, whether he kind of comes back a bit more to get more of the ball if he stays in that central forward position. Early on, he was getting some touches coming back. He hasn't touched the ball much lately.
Sullins gets a touch. Drawing 2 defenders. Marcano. Dangerous pass, keeps possession. Alvarez. Schroeder.
Needs some width here. That needs to be the next ball. There it is.
Perez can facilitate. Uemana turns the service. Borak, easy work.
Yeah, too predictable. Pretty much a flat cross from that right side. You got to either bend that in or hit it deeper, or else the goalkeeper's going to catch that every time.
Hokies force another takeaway. Plenty of space for Marcano. Sullins gives it a rip, and Borak again, right to his fist, knocks it down.
Sullins did well to make something out of that. That's a tough ball to receive where it's about knee-high, hit at you pretty hard. He controlled it really well and really just had to shoot that. He didn't have any other options. You see it again here. That's a tough ball to bring down. Brought down with his left, hit it with his right, but again, right up the middle. Goalkeeper well positioned there, but combination is starting to build up here for Virginia Tech. They've been excellent the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Another takeaway. Marcano. This time well played. It's Farwell, the grad student, winning possession back. This finds the feet of Sam Joseph.
So we've seen plan A for Boston College, and it worked well early. Be direct, play it over the top. They haven't really figured out plan B yet. They've kind of continued to try and play deep. Virginia Tech has really adjusted well, played in front of them, been able to win those balls. Boston College has not had much possession at all since the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game.
Joseph, once again, like a veteran here, understanding what his team needs in this moment.
Ramping up that time of possession for Virginia Tech. But again, there's no reason why you have to go in that situation. And that's why having a goalkeeper with comfort with his feet is so important.
Quill, give and go. Hard challenge outside the box, play on.
He went down pretty easily. Looked like that was a clean challenge that got the ball, and then he kind of fell over.
Right-footed strike is just wide. Hokies have been dangerous. Marcano with a look.
And we're going to see 4 changes for Boston College because clearly this game has slipped away from them a bit. Marcano's been more and more active. I think he's been the key to this attack, popping up on the right most of the game, now on the left. Hit that really well, but just able to find the target. That was a smart job as well by Borak to really only give him the far post from that angle. He was able to reach out and get the near post. Had it been on frame, he would have had to go across the body there, and that's a tough shot to make from that angle.
You mentioned the 4 subs for Boston College. Coach Thompson, a lot of depth on this team this year. This is not uncommon to see.
Yeah, and I think when your offense is not produced and not seeing much of the ball, you have to try something new. And I think in the college game, when you can make these mass changes, it can be a lot of, okay, we're going to kind of talk with the coaches as a group. This is the expectation for all of us. You can kind of get that game plan in place, throw them out there, and then try to execute it.
Just over 15 minutes until halftime. I'm thrilled to have you on your Sunday nights. Evan Hughes, Michael Menick, alongside our outstanding ACC Network crew. Unbeaten Virginia Tech and Boston College. Uemana Perez off the feet of Johannes Hankin. Choss time. Keep an eye on number 77 on the pitch, coming off that hat trick on Wednesday.
And a good guy to bring in when you're trying to refresh things a little bit, get your offense rolling. And the guy that had 3 goals midweek coming in.
Sullins. Offsides is Marcano.
And Boston College, for the most part, has played a pretty deep defensively, but went with a higher line this time. That's good to do, to vary things a little bit. Don't let the other team get too comfortable and too predictable with your movements. And a chance here to knock it forward against the possession, which they've had little of since the early stages of this game.
Possession for Boston College. Finds the feet. Abdul Malak. Far side. Asari. Very talented scorer. And a throw in the final third here for the Eagles.
And I like the variety they have here. You mentioned Martinson Wald, more of a creative attacking player. Martinson Wald's more of a target. They've got some different looks here.
Fight for possession. Williams maintains it. Challenge with Hines. Hokie pressure's been good. A challenge. Will this result? It's just a foul, no card.
A warning for sure, though, for both teams. So a lot of sliding challenges there. Eventually did go against Virginia Tech, but I'm really surprised that's not a Virginia Tech free kick, honestly, watching that replay.
I thought for a moment there a card was coming out, and then just a warning as Bertelli checks in for Marcano. Virginia Tech this year, a lot of late first half goals. Ohio State, Marshall, and Virginia all in the final 10 minutes of the opening half. Long ball ahead, and a good one. Chance for Boston College, but again, possession not won cleanly. Quill shielding his defender. Tech in transition. Here is Quill, and an excellent slide. And challenge one, Finn Hines, the freshman from Germany.
Had to happen because they had to break up that right side, and the left side, there was a Hokie running down unstopped. So if you don't make that tackle, that ball's coming across and it's a breakaway. Great job as well to get that cleanly before the slide as well. You're not risking a foul if you go in like that. But now you've got a chance to launch one in with a throw in. And again, shadows, sunlight here, a challenge. Well handled by Boston College there. That's 2 plays that could be key this late in the half to keep it 0-0.
Hines has seen a lot of minutes as of late, and that was Quill, who's certainly had confidence in that build-up. Still a Hokie throw in far side with just over 10 minutes until halftime. Michael, it certainly seems like a common theme. Both teams comfortable pressing and applying pressure wherever the ball is on the pitch. Long ball ahead, just outside the 18-yard box, but nobody home on the cross.
To your point, Boston College, though, lately has kind of been sitting back and playing 11 behind the ball, having more of a shape instead of pressure, though they will pressure a bit here. But again, it's more of a pressure with 2 than 3. When they have the ball, they're playing a 4-3-3. When they don't have the ball, they're only really risking 2 players and trying to take away the spaces that Virginia Tech has been able to create offensively.
That's a foul against Virginia Tech.
But the guys you want on the ball for Virginia Tech are getting there. Sullins already has 3 shots on goal in this game. Quill's taken 2. Alvarez has taken 2. I like what Marcano's done in build-up. He hasn't have a shot yet, but he's been the guy creating a lot of those opportunities.
And there's contact there after the pass. And Michael Asari, the sophomore, 1 goal on the year, trying to create.
Really didn't have a lot of help there. He was either kind of playing it for himself. He only had one teammate in short distance, and it wasn't really like the ball was on. So he kind of got caught in 2 minds there. Ended up just knocking it up the line harmlessly for a goal kick. That's the challenge, too, if you're Boston College. You've been defending a lot. So when you do get forward, it's been harder for them to get numbers up to support those players on the ball.
Asari plays it back. Gundalak. Midfield pass nearly taken away.
Boston College has had a couple players in wide areas with their hands up wanting the ball. But when you're under pressure, you can't poke your head up and see what's going on the other side. You kind of have to play simple and play short, and they can't build up as well that way.
Williams, the right foot, connects with Connor Gibson, who just checked in a couple of minutes ago. And another foul against Virginia Tech. What a hand fighting it looked like.
Yeah, we mentioned the tone of the game from the officials that were letting a lot go early. Now it seems like later in this half they've tightened the screws a little bit. They've been calling a little bit more fouls that aren't as clear cut. Certainly there's contact, but fouls that you wouldn't necessarily have to whistle every time. Only up to 5 fouls already this half. Part of that, too, is the referee reading the game and saying, okay, well, I've let a lot go early, but I can feel the temperature rising of this game. I need to put my lid on this a little bit more than I have been so far.
The freshman keeper, Borak, who's played every minute this year outside of the match against Dean.
I think I could have played goal in that game, and it would have been 14-0. No shots for Dean in that game.
That's got to be a difficult day at the office.
Yeah.
You know, expecting a moment. Patrick Donovan, the Clemson transfer, got the start. And there you see Asari. He's been featured often since checking in.
Yeah, someone who's not been afraid to go 1v1, going forward and going backward. He's very comfortable on the dribble. And again, I think it's a different look than what we've seen from like Royale, Martinson Wald. Some of those players are much more of 1 or 2 touch players. You're bringing in someone that can kind of go 1v1. And I think that's important, too, for what I said earlier. When you don't have a lot of numbers forward, you have somebody that can keep the ball at their feet and allow help to come. That's very useful as well.
There's a breakaway moment for Boston College. Johannes Hankin Chostheim goes down looking for a whistle. And our referee, Islan Pexanar, will go take a look.
Yeah, I'm eager to see this because live, I felt like it was ball first and then player. But we'll see what the monitor says and what the replays tell us. This is a big moment in this game, clearly. 6:30. Virginia Tech has dominated possession in this game. Outshot Boston College. They have 8 on the board right now to 2 for BC. The 2 for BC were really early. Here's our first look at it. Clearly a break here. Yeah, body first, then ball. I think that's going to be a penalty kick. Clearly knocked him off rhythm there. Down he went. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a penalty kick. But I love that the referee is looking at this and making sure. What also makes it interesting is there was no foul called on the field. So basically you're looking to say, is there clear evidence of a penalty kick? I'm not trying to overturn a call or not a call. What am I seeing on the replay is going to decide this?
That was Tito Peralta lowering the shoulder, and Johannes Hankin Chostheim immediately wanting the call, coming off the hat trick on Wednesday. And just as Coach Thompson was hoping for, he has provided a spark off the bench late in the first half.
And this has been Boston College's attack, is counterattack, pressuring in the right moments. And that was a perfect decision there to pressure from Hankin Chostheim. Fresh legs onto the field as a substitute. And I think that's something that's a story too in this game is Boston College made those 4 subs. They've been better. Virginia Tech has not made any changes. Those ladies are going to get a little bit heavy on a hot day like this late in the half. All right, what's the call? Penalty kick.
What a moment late in the first half for Boston College, looking for their first road win of the year, first result in ACC play, and a chance to capitalize.
And their PK taker is not on the field. So this is another question, too. I've always been of the opinion of, if I draw it, I want to take it. So if I'm Hank and Chostam, I'm saying, give me the ball. Let me take this penalty kick.
And it looks like the man who leads Boston College in minutes, Jack Burkhard, the junior from Sutton, Massachusetts, will take the penalty kick. Facing Sam Joseph in goal. Burkhard puts Boston College in front.
Pretty big moment to score your first collegiate goal from the penalty spot. There was no question about it. He went one way, the goalkeeper went the other. Never going to save that. Taken decisively to the far corner. And if you're not going to have your main guy take the penalty kick, throwing a wild card who's never taken one in a game is a nice way to do it, too. You have no film, nothing to study on, and Burkhard made no mistake. Yeah, back corner. You're not going to save that. And a little message to the Hokie faithful there. He's worked on the goal celebration. You know, he hasn't scored. He's got a good goal celebration in his pocket.
A day in which he can eclipse 2,000 minutes for his career. He also has his first career goal. Jack Burkhard delivers, and it's the Eagles with a late lead in the first half.
Boston College's first goal since the first shot, I should say, since the 9th minute goes in the back of the net.
And to think, Michael, had Virginia Tech really had more chances, more possession over the last 15 minutes or so, it's the Eagles who strike first.
That's why you got to finish your chances when you have momentum. Virginia Tech has gotten themselves in solid positions, but maybe other than that reset off the long free kick, they haven't had a good look at goal.
That stays in. Uwimana was trying to play that off the defender's shin. Booted away. Tech faithful wanted a handball. Play on. Marcano with 2 defenders to challenge Hines as well as a corner kick. Virginia Tech team that has been really good at creating chances. 24th in the nation, a little over 6 corners a match.
A little bit of cleanup work for our referee before this set piece, and Hines has played really well. He was the player that had that tackle there to knock it out for a corner. Maybe had the best tackle of the first half to break up a break for Virginia Tech maybe 10 minutes ago.
Hokies looking for an equalizer. Connor Gibson able to get ahead on that. The chip, far post, nobody home. Excellent read. Hey. Martinson walled down the touchline, unable to keep possession, but excellent work. The sophomore from Norway.
A lot of discussions about what's the value of a coach once the game actually starts. I think the job that Boston College has done, Bob Thompson pushed the right buttons with these substitutes. They have done a nice job of reinvigorating this Eagles team and, of course, drawing a penalty kick.
Bellatrosh. Perez trying to find Marcano. Combination play. Excellent shielding from Hines, who might be one of the stories of the first half.
I think he absolutely has been. And not just because he's been able to win balls like that. He's moved well. He's done a nice job of sniffing out attacks, getting on the ball, breaking things up, doing a really nice job in front of a freshman goalkeeper.
And play stopped for a moment.
I think that last attack showed how you do it and you don't want to use Marcano. Playing it to his head is not the best choice. Playing a 1-2 with him is the best choice.
Hank and Chastain all the way to Joseph. Early in the season, penalty kicks. The Hokies have had to deal with it. You go back to the match against the national runner-up, Marshall, 2 penalty kicks. That was a 2-2 draw. And a penalty kick, Jack Burkhard. The early story as we near halftime at Thompson Field.
And it's the yin and yang of having your outside backs attack a lot. Is in a lot of situations you can create offense like we've seen especially from Uwamani on this side. But then if you get a break the other way, instead of being 1v2, it's 1v1. And that led to a penalty kick for BC.
Bellatrosh, an experienced vet coming in from Central Florida. Uwimana. Perez, direct pass. What a good look, Bellatrosh. The shot, and with one hand, Borak able to make the save.
And we'll see it on the replay, but I think there was another deflection before it got to Borak. So he had to adjust himself midair, make that save with his backhand. Phenomenal. That's Virginia Tech's build-up of the game, though. That was great to make that run in behind. You'll see it here. Diagonal ball to the runner, one-touch ball in behind. Good square ball, exactly where you need to be. And just an off-balance save. And again, that's positioning. You're going towards the one side. This is a drill goalkeepers work on all the time. You start towards one side, the ball comes back the way you came. You have to adjust and make the save, and he did it perfectly.
Tech threatens again. That's still dangerous. Gundalak boots that out of harm's way. And to think that was Quill in a perfect spot there.
When you're unlucky, when things aren't flowing, they're not flowing. That's one that probably goes in 80% of the time, but for Quill, it doesn't, just because it's one of those days. And now you look at Virginia Tech, the last game and a half, they've dominated with possession, with chances, haven't scored. First against Furman, and now almost a half against Boston College.
Miscommunication there.
Now if you're Boston College, you're taking every second you can. You get to this half 1-0, you are thrilled with the way this first half has gone.
You mentioned for Virginia Tech, they scored 2 goals in the first half against Virginia, none in the second half, and then scoreless in 90 against Furman on Tuesday.
But I like the wrinkle they had the last time. Instead of just playing predictably, going wide, crossing it in, you had that cutting run inside, one-touch pass. I think they have attacking players that do that sort of thing really well. I would look for that more in the second half. After about 40 seconds, they're killed on this goal kick, exactly what Boston College wanted to do.
But hey, new rules in college soccer. You got to be careful about taking too much time. Asari draws the whistle. And it's Boston College with a 1-0 lead at the break against 14th ranked and unbeaten Virginia Tech.
As like I said, I don't feel like they've been scrambling. When chances have come, it's been because Virginia Tech's done something creative, not because Boston College has made a mistake.
And with the sun setting over the mountains, 73 degrees, a beautiful night. Second match of ACC play for the Eagles and the Hokies. We're thrilled to have you. Evan Hughes, Michael Mennick, and our outstanding ACC Network crew. A throw in for Hines. He was critical down the stretch.
Yeah, had a couple big tackles. And again, I think the positioning was excellent, not just in terms of his movement, but the organization that he was able to do in front of that back line. And again, I feel like we said it earlier, this Boston College program feels like they're on an uptick. Freshman goalkeeper playing really well. Freshman center back playing really well.
And one thing worth mentioning, both sides dealing with injuries. We talked about Amir Arieli not in the lineup today for Virginia Tech. For Boston College, Christian Behar, Max Andrews, a pair of senior defenders. They're a critical piece of Boston College's makeup this year. And
I think the job that the midfield has done to help with defending has made things simpler for those new defenders coming in. They haven't been exposed on an island, been one-on-one. They've always had support next to them, behind them, in front of them to keep the Virginia Tech attack at bay.
Evan Schroeder.
So we've talked about shape throughout. Now that Boston College has the lead, they're really pressing with one rather than two or three.
There's Hines all the way to the corner. And good work there, making sure that's a throw-in and not a corner.
We've seen a mix of the long throw and the short throw from the Hokies. So this is going to be more of the longer variety. Lots of players stacking up at the far post in white.
Declan Quill, the senior from Falls Church, Virginia. Gets it back in the corner. Bertelli. Hokies working around. Comfortable on ball. Service in. Quill has a look for a moment. That touch just a little too far. Another opportunity in the final third. Bellatrash. Perez. Nifty ball. Excellent challenge. And a slide tackle. It's Hines right on cue.
Yeah, and I'll go back to the support again. Virginia Tech plays a nice ball in. Ball gets sent back to the top of the box. Immediately it's closed down. Another look at that cross there. Again, that diagonal run was something Virginia Tech did well late in the half. But again, an excellent ball. Goalkeeper was there too.
Virginia Tech corner kick. Third of the night. Dangerous. Borak watches that sail off the top of the crossbar.
There were about 3 Hokies that had a look at that one. Never really got firm contact on it, just guided it over. Runs came from the far post to the near post, which I really like. See some tugging there, and again, just not able to get a swing on that. And you can just see the disappointment there for Alvarez. He had the best look at it, but again, the Hokies are really well positioned there. I do feel like if that had been on frame, Borak would have been able to tip it over, but it goes off the top of the crossbar and out.
How about Bertelli, too, taking the corner. Perfect ball. And Virginia Tech, top 25 in the country in corner kicks, average per match about 7. They're at 3. You heard Coach Brizendine talking about being relaxed, though, in this moment, to paraphrase. Not pressing. Chip forward. Quill got a touch, but Hines wisely lets that fall to his freshman Borak.
I think something that Virginia Tech did on this attack is something I'd like to see them do more of, which is get it deeper before they cross it. Back to your point about the corner kicks, you're not getting a lot because you're not getting those immediate deflections that are going over to the end line. When this cross is coming earlier, it's either going to be the goalkeeper getting it or a defender clearing it or a shot. So you're not going to get those deflections as much for corners.
Well, we've talked about Andre Borak in goal. You think about Boston College, the options they had in the offseason. They brought Patrick Donovan in, experience at Clemson. I think that's high praise, the rookie, with how competitive and talented that goalkeeper room is. He's the guy.
And I also like that you bring in multiple guys to fight for that job. When you're looking to fill that position, you want that competition. And again, the relative experience, Sam Joseph with 5 times as many saves as Borak, nearly 5 times as many games, 6 times as many wins in his career entering tonight.
Both super talented, both about probably 4 years apart. Maybe 5. You never know. That 5th year. Both have shined tonight. And the lone difference in this match, a penalty kick. Jack Burkhard with his first career goal. Tech with possession. Uimana out wide. A combination play for the junior. The chip too high for Quill. And there's a challenge as Asari kind of collided into a Hokie, but that's a foul against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, challenge came a little bit late. And that was a good opportunity for Virginia Tech. We'll talk about the chance after the foul here. Ball came in and just a collision there. And, yeah, just a carry through there.
From Joao Felicio. Yeah, that left foot.
Didn't get the ball at all. Yeah, not even close to getting the ball. I think our fouls have doubled in the last 10, 15 minutes of game action here.
Isn't it ironic how a lot of time referees, the whistle becomes more prevalent in the second half?
Well, and I think, too, there's more chips on the table at this point. You're in the second half of a game at home. You're losing at Virginia Tech. If you're Boston College, you're even more keen to protect this lead. You'd rather give up a foul 40 yards from goal than give up a break 40 yards from goal. So I think sometimes you got to be strategic about when you foul. But going back to that last attack, that was a really good opportunity for Uimane. His defender had fallen down, so he was open, had a free run down that side, but couldn't do much with it.
On the midfield, flying down to the pitch, Gundelach. Anything you see here in the early moments of the second half, differences first half to the second?
I think Virginia Tech's been a little bit more direct, trying to play balls into space up that right side especially, get Uimane on the ball. They still have not been able to generate much in the middle. When the ball has come to the middle, it's been very congested. But here's a chance to do it off a throw-in. I'd like to see a closer run to the near post, much like the corner here. The last time the throw-in, they were pretty static on the far side.
Quill the throw-in. Finds the feet of Felicio. Quill, been active. Excellent read. And there's Dylan Mafong, the sophomore. Quill trying to track that back down. The Hokies will have it in midfield. Well, we talked to the Boston College staff before the match. Dylan Mafong, a name they brought up and said he has really played well in his sophomore season.
And I think someone, too, that's been in a key role as a two-way player, getting forward when he can, but doing a lot of defending in this game.
Hokies direct in the final third. Michael mentioned that right side. Perez trying to weave his way through traffic, unable to do so. Finds the feet of Hankin Chostheim, who drew the penalty. And does give it away. That did roll over the touchline.
Yeah, throwing deep, and it looks like some cramping maybe going on for Boston College on a warm night. They made a couple changes in the attack in the first half, but these defenders have played the entire way so far. But I think the key moment for Virginia Tech attacking is earlier in the attack. If they can play that early ball and put pressure on right away and not allow Boston College to set up as well, I think that's how you unlock it. And again, the middle has pretty much been off limits. Boston College has done a really good job of taking away the central passes, so it's got to be quick to the wing, a quick switch of fields to try and get something going offensively.
Great to see C.J. Williams back on his feet, a guy who's made over 40 starts in his career. From Valley Stream, New York. Great athlete in high school. He ran middle distance in track.
That's a soccer player right there, middle distance. That's a thankless job. My track career lasted 2 days. The first day we ran 8 miles. Second day we ran 12. The third day I switched to tennis.
Michael, I'm so glad you brought it up because I was going to ask about track. I don't know the first thing about it, and I'm not, I saw the running, and I was like, it'll be fun to be in the stands to cheer on my friends.
Yeah, when it's like when it's about cross country, when your punishment is my sport. That's a lot of what that middle distance track is.
Rogers came in late to that first half.
That's something Boston College has done is those subs did a nice job. They've stuck with them for the most part to begin this second half. I think for two reasons. One is they're in a nice flow. The other one is your starters get an extra rest. They're going to get about an hour of real-time rest before you probably bring them back in to finish this game.
And as we saw late in the first half, those fresh legs made a difference.
We really haven't seen the Hokies make any moves to try and change things up either. They've stuck with what they've started with, which has been effective, but obviously hasn't created a goal yet.
And too far out of reach. Trying to find Declan Quill. Alex Perez, somebody who's, we talked to Coach Brisnett a couple of weeks ago, mentioning him and Ian Marcano, basically said, listen, they might be sophomores, but they're not playing like it. They're playing like veterans and upperclassmen there in the midfield.
And I really like the job that they do combining with each other. A lot of quick one-touch, two-touch passes. That's where Virginia Tech has been at their most dangerous, is those quick entries into the box off quick passes.
And there you see, coming back from last year, Declan Quill played just 5 matches last year, was dealing with an injury, but this Tech team, Michael, they defended at a high rate. Now the big thing, can they keep putting balls in the back of the net?
Yeah, and I think early in the year we saw that. The Ohio State game, the Marshall game, they were scoring, but as we talked about in the first half, we're at 4 halves and counting since this team has scored a goal.
Solon scored against Virginia. Uwimana, there you see on your screen. 2 years ago, all ACC freshman team was fantastic. He can facilitate, defend. He is a leader and a veteran. And I think that Virginia Tech feels like there's more with Uwimana, even more that he can do already, adding to what makes him such a special player.
And I think they've worked through him a lot in this game, pushing forward up that side. He can beat you 1v1. He can combine. His crossing is pretty good. I think he's someone you have to go through, especially when the middle is being taken away from you. He's got to be the guy on the outside that makes it happen. To that point, I think Quill's movement's been big too. He's not just kind of stayed static in the middle. He's worked to the left, to the right to get touches, to get combinations. And then the hope is you kind of, pin off, head towards the box, get back in the middle and finish. He's got himself in some good positions, again, like he did midweek against Furman, but still waiting for that goal.
If you're just joining us, we mentioned the penalty kick, the difference, but Andre Borak putting together one of his best starts of his freshman season.
Yeah, we've talked about the ingredients to win on the road. Good goalkeeping's got to be one of the main ingredients, one of the main course ingredients. You have to have a couple big saves. If you're going to be under pressure, more so than you're putting pressure on the other team, which has been the case for Boston College, your goalkeeper has to come up big, and he has.
Well, sorry, got his head on that. Hokies have possession in the midfield. Perez, pretty through ball ahead. That right side, opportunity in the box, and there's the defense. Marcy Killeen, the redshirt junior from California, but another Virginia Tech corner.
Yeah, the last one they had was a really good look. Short this time.
The right foot slide from Johannes Hankin Trostheim, the senior. He's known for goal scoring. He's done a lot of other things tonight, though.
Yeah, I think their forwards have done a really good job with their press, and then when they've gotten the ball forward, holding it, waiting for help.
Perez with the left foot gives it a go, and right on cue, Hankin Trostheim.
So I'm generally not a fan of short corners. That was a pretty effective one. But you just had a long corner that you almost scored off of. Why do you go away from that in this situation?
Third consecutive corner. Hokies looking for an equalizer. A whistle, a foul against Virginia Tech.
I mean, you had 3 short corners and didn't really get a shot off any of them. I like it as a changeup. I don't like it as a fastball. I think you do it once or twice a match, but I don't think you do it a lot.
Michael, impressive. You've brought soccer, track and field, and baseball up in the last 5 minutes.
What do you want to do next? Where do we want to go next?
We've got over a half hour left. Stay tuned, everybody.
I mean, we've got a lot of Nordic players. We can do some hockey. We can do some cross-country skiing. We got
curling,
options.
cricket.
Curling?
I mean,
yeah. I imagine going up in Europe that Borak played some team handball.
Oh, my gosh. Team handball as Joseph off his line. Something I would totally rely on you to talk about.
I got nothing other than the name of the sport, and that it involves hands and a ball. That's about all I have. It looks cool, though.
It does.
I feel like that's the argument for curling as well. This looks pretty cool. I don't understand the nuances of this, but it looks cool.
I just love that people see curling once every 4 years and say, I can do that. That's the sport everybody sits back and says, yes.
There's been a lot of former NFL players that have gotten into curling. Mark Bulger among them.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
We're having fun in the booth. We hope you are too, watching from home on your Sunday night. What a great way to finish off the weekend. Cap off the first full weekend of ACC men's soccer. A dominant non-conference for the league. ACC teams 43 wins, 13 losses, 12 draws, the best winning percentage of any Power 4 conference. And a yellow card has been issued to the freshman Borak for taking too much time.
You see his reaction to that, like, really? I think that's dangerous, though, to get one this early in the half. Because, yes, the last 10 or 15 minutes, that's going to be part of your strategy. Already being on a yellow, that favors Virginia Tech quite a bit because he has to rush now. He does not have that fallback option. The cushion is gone now that he has the yellow.
And again, for our viewers who might not be familiar with some rule changes, Michael, tell us a little bit about that rule and what goalkeepers now have to do.
Yeah, it's a matter of getting the ball. I believe it's out of the box or off your foot in 15 seconds. So you can hold it for 6 in your hands. That's been the rule for a long time. But if you hold it for longer than that, then it's going to be called. It's going to be a yellow card for time wasting. And again, like you said, it's a point of emphasis this year. Early in the half, to get that out of the way, that could be key.
Oh, too far out of reach in the far corner.
And I think the fact that we saw that a little bit late in the last minute of the first half, that's a situation where the coaches can go to the referees at halftime and say, look, keep an eye on this. We saw something that was borderline time wasted in the half. Please look for this in the second half. And boom, there's the yellow.
It's been a near perfect night for that guy.
Yep.
Who has kept Virginia Tech off the board.
And he'll take a yellow if the team gets out 1-0. He will gladly make that trade.
Pertelli. Lacrosse. Well read. Gundelach there. Quill tried to make that turn. You mentioned this earlier. I want to follow up. Declan Quill. How has he been used in a variety of ways tonight?
So I think he's, by necessity, because there hasn't been much going on in the middle, he's shown left, right, to either be a target where he can turn and attack. He's got a couple shots off that way. Or play a 1-2 and get somebody wide. And then he can peel off, kind of make a curling run towards the middle and try and finish the chances. But you saw in that last attack, Hokies got in a good position deep, crossed the ball. Really only had 1 or 2 options at the far post. There weren't a lot of options to get on the end of that cross. This is where they've got to be quicker.
Felicio. Ruiz Mateos has it taken away. Rogers, pretty ball near side. Farwell has been in this program last 4 years. Dealt with injuries, back, goes down, easy whistle as that's going against Alvaro Ruiz Mateos.
And the frustration for the Hokies is building right now. That's a frustrating play when a player wins the ball, basically runs out of space. And I wouldn't say he went down easily, but he was looking to be fouled there. He was looking to be in a tight space where he could go down if there was contact, and that's exactly what happened. You see him there. He didn't really have a lot of options, was kind of working down the sideline, step over move, protected the ball.
That left arm a little bit.
Yeah, and I think, too, when the other guy's going and you stop, chances are you're going to have some contact and draw a foul. So he was smart there in that position, pinned on the sideline to draw a foul. And you got to do a little bit of that. When you're under pressure this much, you have to have an outlet or two like that every few minutes to take pressure off your defense.
Perez, Bertelli, Huimana. Excellent concentration. Keep that ball alive.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's being forced to really make precise passes to break things down, and a pass that's a little bit off is going to be deflected, cleared, taken away.
Felicio well in front, taken away by Asari. He gets taken down. A foul and a yellow card.
Yeah, clear yellow. Lost the ball, got mad, took him down. And again, that's that frustration bullying over for Virginia Tech. Yeah, really good tackle in. And goes down pretty easily there. Off the tangle from the ankle. Seeing that again, I was less sure than seeing it live that should have been a card. But he did catch him a little bit on the follow through.
Andy Sullins has just checked in for Alvaro Ruiz Mateos.
I think Sullins is a little bit more of a player you play kind of directly to in the middle. And I think in the last half hour down the goal, you're going to see more of that. Yes, you still want to have some build up on the wing. Yes, you want to work it possessionally. But at some point, you're going to have to start kind of hitting at your forward and letting him make a play. And I think Sullins fits more into that mold than some of the other more technical kind of dribbling forwards that Virginia Tech has shown today.
Through the legs pass to Williams, who checked back in after going down earlier in the second half. How about the fact, Michael, it seems like Virginia Tech has had maybe more possession as of late, but Boston College, they've been so compact in their defending.
Yeah, I was just going to say, other than the one corner kick, I really can't circle a chance that Virginia Tech had without that possession. They've gotten themselves in positions, but in terms of crosses in the box that have found a teammate, or 1-2s in the box that have found a teammate, there haven't been too many of those.
You see Williams, who's been one of those key players and how they've defended tonight.
Yeah, and down a couple of times already in this game. You can see definitely not moving well, and you hope that he can continue because that's, like you said, a big piece for them. But, again, if you're playing in a tighter space, you're playing defense first, that's going to happen more. You're going to have more contact in a more compact space, and that's going to allow injuries. And now, I mean, this could be a big moment. Williams comes off. You bring Devin Galuzzo in to replace him. He has to immediately get up to the speed of this game, which is difficult.
And Galuzzo on Wednesday in the 14-0 win over Division III Dean College had 2 assists. A guy who can play either left or center back his first minutes on this Sunday night.
Versatility is big because you understand a lot of different ways to play this game. And I think, as we've seen, those center backs have had to come wide, win tackles, win possession. So that familiarity with both spots is key.
Nobody home. Hines read that pass well. Now Boston College the other way. Asari tracking it down. We'll get there. Tried to cut back. Felicio the right read.
Asari fits this style so well. You're up a goal. You're going to put a lot of numbers back. You need someone that can do something 1v1. Asari can do that really well. Can dribble, can beat someone off the bounce, can find teammates if he holds the ball up. Exactly the kind of guy you want in a counterattacking style up a goal.
9 starts last year as a freshman. Asari experienced. Hankin Chastheim lost it. A little 1v2 in the corner. That'll stay with BC.
So now, again, this is what I said at the half. This is a low-risk, high-reward. You don't have to bring everybody forward to get a goal in this. A good throw-in with a flick and a finish, and you're up 2-0.
Off the little pinball action there to Joseph. His first real action of the second half, and he was tested in the first 10 minutes for those just joining us. Boston College had a couple of opportunities to extend upon its lead.
Yeah, made a fantastic diving save.
Quill with the left foot. There's Hines. How many times have we said that on the Boston College back line?
Well, and here you had a 1v1. You got a corner kick out of it. You're able to put some pressure on, get a set piece for yourself. And again, love to see this hit hard towards the far post. Either get a clean finish or a rebound here for Virginia Tech and tie this game.
This is the fourth Virginia Tech corner kick of the second half. They've had a couple of dangerous moments, searching for the equalizer. Boston College, they've been really good defending the set pieces. Cross, header, Quill, and a stoppage as there's an injured Eagle.
Yeah, because this is potentially a head injury, referee's going to stop this as soon as possible because of the safety reason.
And it's Moritz Gundelach.
And they're going to go to VAR on this.
One of the two captains for BC, a guy who has started every match this year. Great to see him already up onto his feet. And coming into tonight, his 24th start in 25 matches he's appeared in. A key piece.
Another look at it. I can't imagine that they're looking at this to see if it's a penalty kick. So I would guess maybe they're looking to see if this is a red card, if the elbow was too high. I don't see that either. I think this is going to be nothing once they review it.
Second time that Islan Pexanar has gone to the monitor. There's a zoomed-in look.
Yeah, they're looking at that left hand to see if maybe there was an elbow or a hit to the face. I don't see anything there. I think it's going to be a pretty quick decision.
I don't have violent conduct, so Tom said
yeah, he just said I don't have violent conduct. Exactly. So we're just going to play on.
And tonight, there's been physicality on both sides. Not too many cards. A little over 20 minutes to play. 14th ranked Virginia Tech, unbeaten. Last three matches have been draws. Boston College, most goals in program history on Wednesday. 0-1 in ACC play. You think about last year, they ended the season with a top 10 win against North Carolina. What a win that was. And then early in September, a lot of time left, but this would mean a lot to Coach Thompson and that BC program.
Well, yeah, and I think these are two programs that are pretty evenly matched. They give Virginia Tech an edge at home, but I think when you look at the ACC table and the standings, I think these are two teams going to be pretty close together. So if Boston College can get a win on the road, it's going to be very valuable.
And still a lot of time.
It's been the theme of the weekend, though, hasn't it? A lot of road teams finding ways to win, whether it's an upset, whether it's rallying like Stanford did. Those road points are precious.
You mentioned Virginia Tech being at home. They got to go to Stanford a week from today.
And that's the other reason why this is important. Now you got to go on the road to a top 10 team that's going to have momentum after that comeback against Syracuse. 2-1 down, they win 3-2.
Schroeder has been active tonight. First 2 years at Georgia State. Coach Brizendine said he saw an opportunity earlier in the year and he pounced on it. He has not let it go. With Arieli being down, he's become even more valuable.
Virginia Tech has really stuck with their starters in this game. This is a chance. I mean, they did not score against Furman in a very similar situation. A lot of chances, didn't have to defend too much, couldn't score. So I'm sure they've worked on that in training between now and then. Will that pay off, though? Because Boston College had those 2 shots early, had the penalty kick, and really haven't done much else offensively.
Quill. Felicio. Alvarez. Direct pass right back to him. Flips it forward. Quill gives it a go. That'll roll over the end line off of Boston College. A Virginia Tech corner.
Yeah, the home roll there, going out not only for a Virginia Tech possession, but for a corner kick. This is always challenging what Boston College is doing right now, which is substituting on a corner kick. Because this player has to immediately know, okay, who am I going to mark, who am I going to pick up? Russell Brown, it's a junior, he knows what he's doing, but still challenging.
Short corner. Bertelli is met. That'll stay with Virginia Tech. Looked like Galuzzo, indeed, who just came in as a sub.
And again, you get a corner kick, a chance to put it in the box, put pressure on the other team. You maybe got a touch in the 18-yard box there before you were shut down. I think the goal with the short corner is you want to get one of your kind of tricky tactical players 1v1 where he can either try and take somebody and go to goal or cross it in and get kind of a different angle. We really haven't seen Virginia Tech get past step 1. A lot of times they're not getting it past that first defender on the short corner kick.
Beautiful look at the sunset at Thompson Field. Quill, pass intercepted. Farwell dumps it off, and on the give and go, he goes down and is in some pain.
Yeah, and that's the position where Quill, you don't want Quill there if you're Virginia Tech. You don't want him coming that far back to get the ball. Got exposed a little bit defensively. BC was off to the races a bit and drew a foul. And again, chance to bring a couple players forward, get a set piece, get a look. But maybe just as importantly, now you've got 10 Hokies behind the ball within 25 yards of goal. A lot tougher to counter out of that.
Great to see Farwell. Okay, he missed all of 2022 to injury. 9 appearances in 23. Didn't play last year. On a set piece for Boston College. Dangerous and headed. Still alive. Joseph reads it. That ball's still alive. Played back. The shot deflected out of play. A near second goal for Boston College, and it's the Virginia Tech defense that stands tall.
Huge play by Felicio to keep that being from 2-0. That was an open goal. Great service into the far post. Initial header. Reset in was perfect. Excellent diving play there at the post by Joseph. Still stays alive, and just that block from the ankle by Felicio protecting the goal. Because the goal mouth's open right here. You've got one defender and a goalkeeper coming back. Really tough to do that. That block had to happen immediately, and it did.
That close to being 2-0, but still a chance on the Boston College corner. Sorry, got a look at it. And Joseph will have it on a goal kick.
Again, that's the sequence Boston College wants. They didn't score, but they were able to take some pressure off, get a couple chances, keep Virginia Tech honest. Because I think Virginia Tech, in a perfect world, would love to bomb those outside backs forward, get 8 or 9 players in the attack. They're being kept honest right now because Boston College has been just dangerous enough that they haven't been able to fully commit.
And didn't see Joseph push it there.
Yeah, I think you're wanting to get numbers forward here. Rather than have him hit it long, you want to get some possession, move Boston College a little bit more. As a goalkeeper, you don't have so many options. You're pretty static with where you can put the ball.
Here's a look for Tech. Solins almost got his foot down, just a little too far out of reach.
It just seems like Virginia Tech's been a half step off on those attacks sometimes, where if the pass is perfect, they're in, but it's not, and so they're not. Ball gets through to the goalkeeper, or it's cleared. Again, promising stuff, but I really have not felt like in the second half they threatened the goalkeeper Borak that much.
And as that clock ticks below 20 minutes, anything Virginia Tech needs to change? You mentioned starting to get numbers forward, or are they doing what they want to do here still late?
I feel like the first half was better in terms of speed of play and being able to build up and get in behind. Again, I think they've got to mix it up a little bit. I think they've got to be a little bit more direct, play some balls towards the corners, get their wings 1v1 where they can either beat a player and cross in or take it to the goal themselves. I think that's the way it's got to be. And again, I think they're just going to have to put some numbers forward. I don't think we're there yet. Last 5 to 8 minutes, I think we're going to see those defenders getting really forward.
Colin Butel and Ian Marcano both just checked in for Mike Brisendine's squad. Joseph pushing the tempo. Sullins with 2 defenders on him, able to win possession back. Belitrash, through ball, out of reach.
Boston College's midfield is so important because of what we just saw in that last attack. Hokies want to play direct. If the midfield can win that header instead of a defender, then they can turn that upfield. The defenders are in position to defend on the second ball.
Another takeaway. Asari unable to get there. Felicio, plenty of space near side. Butel, who scored the game winner against Ohio State. The cross had a look with Sullins, but no shot.
Really good run from Sullins, but again, not a lot of Hokies in the box.
Belitrash reverses. That pass to Uemana was short. There was a challenge. Russell Brown, play on. Hokies threaten. Sullins. Marcano gives it a rip. And a goal kick.
But I like that attack. Instead of playing that ball back and playing the easy ball, you go right towards goal on the end line. Options to shoot, options to pass. Really like the decision there for Marcano.
Well, late in the first half, Boston College, excellent opportunity, a foul which led to a penalty kick. And Jack Burkhard, his first career goal, silencing the crowd.
Beautifully taken penalty. Goalkeeper goes one way, you go the other. That did not look like a guy that's never taken a penalty kick in a college game before. That was very confident from Burkhard.
That's been the difference. Both teams have had chances. Virginia Tech with more shots than Boston College, but the Eagles have capitalized. Butel off the bench. Turns the corner. That rolled over the end line. And the BC bench, you can hear the cheering. Coach.
Yeah. Both teams doing what they want to do in this situation. Again, Virginia Tech trying to get an angle to cross back, make the defense move. Yeah, that ball was clearly out. But again, Boston College had 2 players on the ball there, made it really tough to cross that ball. Both teams have to be happy with how that went. Both teams doing what they wanted to do in that situation.
Killeen checking in for Farwell.
Brian Toro also in.
He's seen extensive minutes here in 2025. Not today.
That's a nice luxury to have, though. A guy that has experience on the bench, fresh, to come in the last 15 minutes and try and close this out for you on the road.
A brace on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking, I got a brace on Wednesday. Well, how about I play? No, I mean, but when you score 14 goals, that's what happens. Somebody's got to get left out. You can't play everybody that scored in that game.
Asari gets a touch. Hokies win possession back. Marcano for Belitrash through traffic. Play on. No, whistle.
Free kick the other way.
Free kick the other way to Michael's point. Just as Tech thought they might have numbers.
Belitrash came in, I think that's what was called, then he went down, but I think the foul was before he went down. Yeah, that was the challenge that was the foul, and then he went down. But he fouled before he was fouled. And again, I'll go back to the point I made earlier. The fact that Boston College has kept the shutout so far with only committing 4 fouls tells me how organized they've been.
Here is Burkhard. Swings it out wide. Uemana, who could change a match. Big slide tackle, but a foul. Marcy Killeen, the redshirt junior, a little too aggressive.
But again, that's the strategic yellow. You're 1v1 against probably their best attacker on that side. You're willing to commit that foul and give away a free kick rather than get beat. Well, I thought it was a pretty good tackle. Let's take a second look at it. Yeah, I thought he got ball first. I thought that was a good tackle.
Cal State Fullerton transfer. He had the game winner at number 8 North Carolina last year in the regular season finale. Eagles looking for a ranked win in Blacksburg. Marcano plays it in, punched away. Borak there again for the Eagles. Utelli tries to split two defenders, and Hines whistled for the foul. And will he be shown yellow? He will not, but a set piece coming.
Dangerous chance. And again, 1v2, take a chance, and you get a foul. Try to split both defenders. Really good work here from Johannes. Again, just trying to split the difference. Touched the ankle on the way through. Knew he wasn't going to get to that ball, so smart play and a great free kick opportunity.
Header, climbing the ladder, Andre Borak, the true freshman in just his second ACC match, has delivered.
Yeah, controlled the box well, been a shot stopper. Can't ask for much more than what they've gotten out of Borak, and that was Bertelli on the last chance for Virginia Tech. And again, I thought he did a really nice job. Free kick was solid, but Borak was up to the challenge. And Hines, the player injured, he's been excellent today as well. Service in, and just caught him a bit on the way through. Protect the ball. So, not a foul. There's going to be a drop ball here to the goalkeeper.
Sonder Martinson Wold, the sophomore from Norway, checks in place of Michael Asari, who gave quality minutes for Boston College.
Yeah, and he's going to take his time getting off the field with his team leading by a goal on the road. But I thought he was excellent. And again, I think knew his role. His role was to be a pain, to pressure, use his speed. He wasn't going to get a lot of support. Made things tougher for Virginia Tech to build out of the back, and he did exactly that.
Remember, Borak's on a yellow.
Right.
Took too much time earlier. Tech with possession in the midfield. Bertelli. The junior from France cuts it back. Pretty move. Service just a hair too high for Declan Quill.
I thought Bertelli could have been a little bit quicker to start that attack. There was a lot of space for him. Took a couple touches that didn't really advance the attack too much. Did end up getting it on the wing. Good job to create space there for the cross, but just not a lot of targets. And that's a tough ball coming in from that angle to turn your body, direct it on frame with a header too.
Transfer from Campbell, Hugo Bertelli. And a foul against Devin Galuzzo. Came in for the injured C.J. Williams.
And now Tech's really going to move quickly. Not a lot of time to deliberate. Ball's on fillet, switch the fields, get it forward, put some pressure on right away.
Butel with the right foot. Nobody home. 4 Eagles in the 18-yard box there.
Yeah, and basically 10 within 20 yards of goal in the middle, just anticipating that cross.
And there's a foul. Referee Island Pexanar.
Have to be smart here. You don't want to get a card for dissent in this situation. Looked to me like that was off the ball. Here's another look at it. Yeah, just a stumble there. And then here's the challenge. And yeah, went into it a little hard, but I think that was sold pretty well too by Boston College.
Just over 10 minutes to play on this Sunday night, concluding week 2 of ACC play. Virginia Tech has had plenty of possession in the second half. Can they find that final connecting piece? Well, combination play, Felicio unable to possess. Connor Gibson unable to clear that away. No, he was. That's going to be a goal kick.
I think he knocked it off of his opponent there.
And keep an eye on that substitution you see on your screen there. Yanis Belitrash comes off. Dagger Traustason comes on. This is one of Virginia Tech, one of their top freshmen who has been working hard in training, made his debut in the final minutes of the Furman match. He's somebody who can really create.
And now we have a cramp before this goal kick can be taken. But yes, and I think the issue right now is fitness. You want to get him in game fitness. You don't want to rush him too much. 4 minutes against Furman, he's going to get about 9.5 in this game. But it only takes one moment. If he can come in and change things, have the vital touch, have the vital strike, then it's well worth it.
And you see the freshman from Iceland at 6'3", a very tall presence for the Hokies up top.
And that's the other thing. If you get corners, if you get free kicks, if you get crosses in, now you have a big target.
Great to see Hines on his feet. Under 10 minutes to play. Penalty kick late first half, the difference from Jack Burkhard of Boston College. There's an injured Hokie. And the referee will stop play, but then quickly back to his feet is Tito Peralta. Felicio the throw-in. This crowd at Thompson Field putting their hands together, trying to will a goal for the home team. Easy clearance, Galuzzo. How about the minutes he's played down the stretch?
Yeah, coming in late as a substitute. We said you're going to have to adjust quickly to the pace of this game. He has done so. Been in the right place at the right time. Couple key clearances. And again, you don't have to be fancy here. Knock it out of play. Knock it down the field. Just keep Virginia Tech from getting in a good position.
That's taken away. Hand fighting, and Bertelli, the foul. Rather, excuse me, Perez.
Yeah, any contact in this part of the field, Boston College is going to go down. Because if they don't call it, no harm done. You're in a defensive position. If they do call it, you get a free kick. You can kill 15, 20 seconds. You can just dump it deep, get possession back, but you're set up. Virginia Tech's been at their best when they get in a rhythm. A lot of possession, a lot of movement. That rhythm's really been broken up in the second half.
Well, Virginia Tech, with a win or a draw today, would match last year's squad for the best start in program history. Unbeaten thus far, down to their final 8 minutes. Felicio tries to bend it in. Schroeder is well forward. Uemana quickly to his feet. A freshman. Butel. Bertelli connects with Marcano. Scored a late equalizer last year in Lexington against a ranked Kentucky team. Has been clutch in his young career. Throw in for Virginia Tech. And quick stoppage for the injured Boston College player. And our referee, Islan Pexanar, initially waving on the athletic trainer.
So here's the thing, because the trainer was waved on, he now has to come off. He can be waved back on, but now he's off. So for the moment, unless they substitute him, BC is playing with 10.
It's a great point from Michael Mennick. Good to see him jogging. Grab some water.
Stretch it out, but you got to stretch it out with 10 instead of 11.
Can Virginia Tech capitalize? They've had moments. Looking, Schroeder, Perez, ball dangerous, booted away. Hokies have had a couple of those moments inside the 6 and 18-yard box. Dangerous, and now Boston College the other way. There's a push, and likely a card on the way. That's shown to Russell Brown.
Yeah, feet just got tangled there. That's unlucky. I don't think that's a yellow. It wasn't like he changed his stride or reached out. I think they just got tangled there.
Urgency continues for Tech. That pass intercepted, well read. A takeaway. And then a clean challenge in the midfield from Bertelli. He got tangled up with Toro. As a collision. No foul, but throw in for Virginia Tech. And it does seem kind of fitting, Michael, that Boston College, to close this out, it's going to be the defense.
Yep. And their defense has been really good all game, kept things in front of them, really forced Virginia Tech to the edges of the field. Balls wide, set pieces, throw-ins, not a lot being run up route one up the middle. It's been a lot of wide play, and hope you can get on the end of it.
Butel shielded. Martinson Wold was there. It is a corner. Felicio for Marcano. Chip Ford. Excellent slide tackle to midfield, but a yellow and a little extracurricular as our referee Islan Pexanar is trying to break it up.
I agree with what you said live. I thought that was a good tackle. I'm sure we'll see it again on the replay. Another card shown here. It might have been just making sure Galuzzo knew there was a yellow there. But I thought that was just a hard collision. I didn't see much maliciousness in there, unless his studs were up. That's the one thing that might have happened there. Referee was right there. I mean, he got a great look at it. Here's a better look. Yeah, that looks to me just like a collision. I don't think that's a yellow card. I think it might have been a quick check there to make sure that the fourth official in the AR didn't see anything off ball there that warranted a card. There was some extracurriculars there on that play. This is a big free kick, though. Good location in the middle of the field. You're not going to shoot from out here probably, but you can hit a pretty hard ball towards that far post and score directly off of it. Only takes one touch to deflect it in from this kind of distance. Near post is big here too. If you get a rebound, you can pick up the traction at the near post. It's not just going to be at the far post.
Late on this Sunday night in Blacksburg, Hokies searching for the equalizer. Bertelli, the free kick, and knocked down on a hop by Borak.
Yeah, that shows why it's so hard to score from there. That was a well-hit free kick in a good location. But from that far out, it's got to be perfect to score. Yeah, just one hop. If you can get that there on the fly, that low, it's so hard to do. But on the bounce, goalkeeper's able to handle that.
Sam Joseph.
Put this bug in your ear with 5 minutes, so I don't think we're there yet. Last minute or two, if they get a set piece, he's probably up. With that kind of size,
6'4",
he's probably going to be a target if they can get a free kick or a set piece very late.
Hokies continuing to press. And play on, no whistle. Perez tried to split two defenders.
I think that was the right play in this situation. You don't have a cross, try and make something happen. You get a throw-in out of it.
Felicio, the left foot, near side Butel, the hero against Ohio State in the season opener. Gets by two defenders, goes down.
Clock's going to be stopped. They'll look at this at least.
Would this potentially be a penalty kick?
My initial view is no, but I'm interested to see the replay from a tighter angle. I felt like he went down pretty easily there. And again, the call in the field is not a penalty kick, so you need evidence to prove that it is a penalty kick to call it as such. That felt to me like he knew he wasn't going to get the ball. There was a little bit of contact, and he went down hoping for the call. We'll get a second look at it here. It's a good ball in to set things up. Patience was necessary, an excellent split there. Some contact. I don't feel like there's enough for a penalty kick there, but I can see it. I can see it being called. I don't think it's indisputably not a penalty kick. Arms out there. Didn't wrap it all the way around him. Some contact. I'm not sure that's a penalty kick.
The one penalty kick that was awarded was on kind of a shoulder check late in the first half when Johannes Hankin-Chostheim went down, was taken by Jack Burkhard.
That angle that the referee's looking at from the end line is going to be a good angle to decide this too. Had a really good angle from our camera crew on this.
And worth reminding you, overtime no longer in the regular season. When the clock hits 90 minutes, that's it for the match. So there's 4 minutes and 18 seconds left.
Just about the same spot as we were in the first half where we had a penalty kick change the game. Very late in this half. Usually when you look at it this much, it's going to be not a penalty kick. If you saw it and immediately thought it was a penalty kick, you probably call it right away. But we'll see what the call is.
Here's our referee, Islan Pexenar.
Penalty kick.
Penalty kick awarded. A chance to equalize for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and I think the call is going to be because his arm is high. Look at this. Puts his arm out. Does disrupt him a little bit. Again, that's borderline to me, but I can see the case for calling this a penalty kick.
Alex Perez, the sophomore from Las Vegas. Late in the match. Perez misses wide. The Boston College defense greets the keeper Borak.
That's stunning. That wasn't close. If you're going to go low and place it, you got to at least put it on target. That was not close. A little bit of an exaggerated windup. Just totally mishit that. Goalkeeper's going the wrong way, too. You just tuck that in the corner, and it's 1-1. And you see his frustration there. He knows what a moment it was. But this has kind of been the story for Virginia Tech. They've got themselves in some decent positions. The finishing has not been good enough. Except for that one save Borak made late in the half, everything they've gotten inside has gone over or wide. Hasn't really gone on target.
And Perez has been excellent on set pieces. A couple of weeks ago against Canisius, well outside the 18-yard box, scored. Little over 3 minutes left. Hokies still pressing. Trying to get as many men forward. Excellent work on the dribble. Bertelli. And the slide. Russell Brown just picked up the yellow earlier. Textbook.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good dribbling. Really didn't gain any ground with that really good dribbling because the defense was so good in front of him. This is just to get some fresh legs in to break up the flow of the game, making a couple changes with 3 minutes left. Also to get some size on the field for Boston College.
Marcano cuts it back. Direct pass. Second chance. Marcano. Deflection. Booted away. Again, a couple of touches for Virginia Tech, but not a clean look in front of goal. Who's that off of? That's off the foot. Looked like of a Hokie indeed. A goal kick for Boston College.
Yeah, and it just shows the job Boston College has done. Maybe their biggest celebration of the game just came for winning a goal kick because that's so important in these last 2 minutes. Now you can kill 5-10 seconds. Again, goalkeeper on a yellow, Borak, he can't take too much time. But that went out with about 2:15 left, thereabouts. So we're looking at 15 seconds and counting off the clock. And you only have about 8 more of those sequences left in this game. You've got to be really direct here. As soon as you have a window to cross the ball in or hit it forward, you got to do it. Right here, this has got to be a touch and a cross.
Butel. Marcano. So crafty on the ball. Uemana almost got a touch on it. A corner kick coming. And potentially one of the final chances for Virginia Tech.
And here we go. Goalkeeper coming forward.
Here comes the 6'4" Sam Joseph. Track down. Get an empty net right now. And how about Galuzzo? 1 minute to play. Peralta. Felicio. Across the way. Marcano. With the right foot. Crosses in. Sullins with contact. A foul against Virginia Tech. Boston College has possession, and they can start to feel it.
Looked to me like that he was trying a volley there. That it wasn't so much that he went down, but he was trying to do an overhead kick. Wasn't able to execute it. And now you just hit this deep, play defense, and get out of here with a road win.
Freshman Andre Borak boots it away. How fitting it comes down to one final defensive stand for Boston College as Bob Thompson's squad comes into Blacksburg and knocks off 14th ranked Virginia Tech 1-0 the final.